Hey guys, V. Ragoni, Max, high performance real estate entrepreneur. So let's smash the like button if you like this shit. If you don't like it, I get it. And if you're going to listen to it and you want to hear more, then also, let's subscribe to the channel. Because what we're going to talk about today is a phrase that I created a long time ago. And that is the amount of money you make is directly proportional to the amount of aggravation you're willing to put up with. And you might say, whoa, why do I want to do that? Well, I touched on it in a previous video, but we're going to go a little bit deeper because what does it really break down to? What does it mean by aggravated? You're going to walk around mad? No, not talking about that. Let's just kind of like think about it for a minute. Let's just simmer on this. And what I'm going to say is that the average person in America, they go to college or they go to high school. Then they may go on to college. And a lot of people in the last 15, 20 years have gone to college. They come out. They know they're laden down with debt. They got a degree. In fact, though, you wish they did because a great percentage, I don't know what the percentage is, I got to look it up, but it's a significant percentage of people come out of college. They have no degree and they've got the debt up to that point. Yeah, that's really rough. But in any case, when it's not about college, they go to college, they get the degree, they come out, they get a job. All right. Or they go to high school, and they go into the trades. They go to work. They get hopefully the trade, something that's going to make them some good money or whatever they're going to do. And then they're going to, make a living, start living the American dream. All right. And so they're going to make an average wage. They're going to trade their time for money. That's right. Trade your time for money. All right. Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote a whole book on it. You can't beat it. It's explained in a way in which everybody should be able to understand it. How much money you make is directly proportional to the amount of skills that you have and talent and effort that you're willing to put out. Now, I get all that. Now, there are going to be some people out there that are just going to say to themselves, well, yeah, I don't want that grief. There's going to be some people out there going to say, I don't want that grief. I just want a regular job. I don't want to climb the corporate ladder. I don't want to be what is quote unquote a professional, like a doctor, lawyer, accountant, that kind of stuff, psychiatrist, whatever. I don't want any of that stuff. I just want to, be able to go to work, make a basic wage and go home, spend the weekend on the sofa or doing whatever I want to do, drink some beer, watch some games. I got it. Now, based upon that as being the first level, every level above that, because one could argue that's the least amount of aggravation, right? All right. That's how people think. To me, it's the most amount of aggravation at some level, but based upon how I'm trying to explain this, that's the least amount of aggravation a person has. Just the basic job, enough to pay the basic bills, enough to sit there and drink some beer and watch some games or go to a game, and that's it. Now, everybody above that is now increasing their level of aggravation in order to get more skills, more training, in order to work more. It's all part of that. Now, with that, they make more money. More money. That's what they do. And so where you fit on that continuum is going to be based upon what your dreams and goals are. Yeah, kind of like I always say, dream big, start now, grow fast, right? Well, sometimes you can't do it fast when you're in education. You got to go through the system. It's all set up. The matrix got it all figured out for you. And you're going to go through this thing, but you're going to come out with more skills. Or you're going to go back to school, get a master's degree, more skills. But isn't that more aggravation? Isn't it more responsibility? Oh, I know. I'm going to get a comment saying, oh, I love school. Well, congratulations. Most people do it, and they know that they're going to give up something to do it. In order to succeed at anything, it's a matter of what are you willing to give up in order to succeed. If you're going to be in a master's degree program, you got to give up sometimes going out with the buddies, with the girlfriends, the trip, this and that. Why? Because, you got to get through it. Isn't that aggravation on some level? It all comes down to what are you willing to put up with, right? Now, some people have an incredible amount of ability to put up with a lot of shit, and so they will succeed at a higher level. So whatever that level is going to be directly proportional to the money you make. You don't think people become doctors, they don't think they put up with a lot of freaking aggravation? Just watch any medical show, right? And you'll see how much grief they put up with. But at the end, they're making $4, $5, $6, $7, $800,000 a year. Now, if they don't figure that shit out, they're just paying a lot of taxes. But I'm just saying they're able to make that kind of money. That's the way this thing rolls. Now, I work in the world of entrepreneurship. So there's a whole nother level of grief and things that you got to do there. You got to be able to fund projects. You got to be able to hire people. You got to be able to find tenants. You got to be able to redo buildings. You got to be able to blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of stuff. Go listen to my, subscribe to the channel, man. It's there. But in the end, the amount of money you make is directly proportional to the amount of aggravation you're willing to put up with. I've always had a great tolerance for being able to put up with bullshit. Now, there's times I draw the line. There's times I put the hammer down. I get it. But that's one of the basic principles of success. And if success is you want to be the greatest psychologist out there, then you got to put in the time, because there's going to be a certain amount of aggravation that's going to go along with getting the credentials, doing the internships, and then good luck. You're out there. Now you got to listen to everybody and their problems. You don't think that's grief? That can be big grief. I got a niece who's a psychologist. She has to leave town once in a while because it just goes so, it's so overwhelming to listen to people's problems to such an extent, especially when you're dealing with kids. So this is the stuff I'm talking about. The amount of grief, the amount of aggravation you're willing to put up with will be directly proportional to the amount of money you make. Figure this shit out early in life, and you will be a lot happier because you will achieve a lot more. Does that make sense to you? Now, I realize that it's just one single principle. There are other principles that are required in order to make big money, in order to become wealthy, in order to become rich, in order to become financially free, so you can go where you want to go, do what you want to do, with whomever you want to, whenever you want to, and not have to worry about having to get back to the job, not have to worry about all these things come into play. But before you go take that ride, you got to put in the time. And it's going to be how much aggravation are you willing to put up with is directly proportional to the amount of money you're going to make. Guys, let's get out there. Let's think about this and let's put it to work. There's a lot of other principles we'll talk about, but this is one of the basics. And if you can get this one down and you just don't go to school just because, you just do this because, but you have a direct idea why you're doing it. You know what your goals are. You know you've taken your dreams, turned them into goals, and now you're willing to do what's necessary to do in order to achieve those goals. And that takes putting up with aggravation. So let's get out there. Let's put up with some damn aggravation so we can live a life that like no one else gets to live. That's right. That's what that 2% of the people in the population get to do. And let me tell you that unless they were born with that silver spoon, in which most were not, they put up with a lot of aggravation, whether that be risk, whether that be education, whether that be tenants, toilets, and termites, whatever it is, get out there and do it. Let's think big. Let's start now. Let's grow fast. And don't forget, subscribe to the damn channel. Talk to you soon. Have a great week.